Hey everyone, it's Jamie here with your August update of what's happened in the Toronto real estate market. August is typically one of the slowest months in the Toronto real estate market, and that means that sometimes the data does funny things. You have some data like the average price of a home in the GTA right now is up month over month. And when you dive into the actual data for each individual area, that doesn't really make a lot of sense, because you have weird things that happen in a low inventory, low sales environment, like an $80 million land sale has a great impact obviously on the stats overall, because it's a really big outlier. But when you look at average numbers, it's obviously in there. When it came to the actual sales activity in the month of August, we had 5,627 sales. This is down about 35% year over year and is actually up month over month, which is a good thing because there's some more homes sold, but month over month, we're in a very low inventory market. We're back into an inventory level that we saw back in January, which might explain some of the stats that we're seeing where some things have gone up month over month because there's not a lot of choice. When you look at months of inventory, we've seen that months of inventory growing. In June 2022, we saw about 1.1 months of inventory. In July, we saw 1.2. And in August, we saw 1.3. The amount of inventory on the market is growing pretty steadily month over month within the marketplace. That's also reflected in the days on market. When you look at places and how long it takes a home to sell right now across the GTA, it would be more fair to say it takes more than 30 days than less than 30 days. You have areas like central Toronto where you're at 37 days on market is the average days on market for a property, and the lowest is the east end of Toronto at 28 days. When you get into places outside the city of Toronto, for example, Burlington's at 36 days, Oakville's at 42, it's more fair to say that properties are taking a longer time to sell. If the days on market keeps climbing, it means that the buyer interest is a little bit lower, even if there's some fluctuation in prices. It might just mean that you had some higher end sales or entry level sales that kind of skew the data a little bit in a specific area. So what's this mean for you? If you want to look at the data, it's all down below area by area, and each person's situation is a little bit different. But if you're somebody who's looking to buy right now, there is still some opportunity out there. We've had another Bank of Canada interest rate hike, which means that your borrowing power, again, unfortunately has decreased, and you're not going to be able to afford as much home as you were just a couple of days ago. But what that means is that you're likely to have less competition, which means that you might be able to get yourself a really good value right now because you have less competition and the prices are lower than they were last year. The market that we saw in January, February, I think everyone at this point is aware it's changed, but it's changed more than most people probably expected it to. And that means that it's going to take your home longer to sell. And if I was talking to somebody tomorrow that is thinking about selling their home, I'd probably say it's safer to say that it's going to take more than a month to sell their home than less than a month. Whereas before, for the last couple of years, it's been, we'll sell your home in 7 to 10 days, no problem. So people are going to have to be more patient, and they're going to have to do all the right things, where keeping your house clean and ready for showings at all times is going to be more critical. So in summary, if you're not moving, don't worry about it. Don't worry about anything that's going on right now. If you have any mortgage renewals coming up though, definitely talk to a mortgage broker or your bank, see if you have early renewal option, and at least take a look at those. We're not sure where mortgage rates are going to go. The next opportunity where they might increase the interest rate is in October. If you're a buyer, there's some opportunity for you. And if you're a seller, let's talk and figure out the best plan forward, but it's taking a little bit longer and you have to do all the right things. So if you have any questions, drop a comment below. Feel free to send me an email or send me a DM.